Okay, we up in here. Listen, we up in the building, man. I got the squad. I top rope, ketchup. No, wait. Hold on, wait. We try. Listen, Kid Rock podcast in the building. Frank, top rope, hold on, but Kid Rock podcast in the building. Listen, Chef Preston in the building. You see what I'm saying? We got DPJR in the building. You see what I'm saying? With the Dolly Parton shirt on. Listen, E-Mac in the building, JMC in the building, and I got my wife in the building. What's really good?
Hello.
All right, listen. Hope everybody had a happy holiday, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas. You know what I mean?
Hanukkah,
Kwanzaa, Scientology.
Don't know. Mad at Santa Claus.
Everybody getting put down. Yo,
I did watch that Dashing Through the Snow, and I thought that was pretty decent.
Gentlemen, breaking news at this hour is that in the opening bout of AEW Dynamite this evening, no one is shocked by this. Jay White takes the pinfall. You may be shocked to hear if you were not watching the program. The pinfall was administered by Jon Moxley rather than Swerve Strickland. So advancing to the finals in the North Atlantic, Antarctic, Tropicana,
Milky Way.
Keep going.
Oh, God.
Hubble telescope, Halley's Comet. Which one?
Halley's Comet. Okay, so that tournament, for whatever title that is, Jon Moxley advances, and I don't mean to hijack the show right off the, but that's what everybody says. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to cut you off. I don't mean to immediately deviate, but guys, does this now diminish Texas Deathmatch victory by one Swerve Strickland, since he's clearly not in the title picture anytime soon? I realized he was with MJF last week on Dynamite in a backstage segment that I enjoyed. Does this derail Swerve Strickland a bit in everyone's opinion?
I got 4 words. He just got Ricky Stark.
Oh, why would you say
Oh my God.
You know what that does.
Yeah. It checks out.
Checks out.
To your point, yeah, I believe so. I'm a firm believer, and you can't always say because you didn't take the pin, you didn't get your stuff didn't get diminished. At the end of the day, you still lost. You know, even though he pushed that whole narrative, he didn't pin him narrative for so long, but did he win? Did he win? Not really. So it feels like something is very interesting ever since everybody's been talking about this dude becoming AEW champion material. Things have gotten real. I don't know. Things are feeling a little bit. I don't know. Top rope, get your back, get it, kind of. But listen. Thanks for everybody for joining the podcast. we gonna start off. We got to start off talking about it. Chef, I apologize in advance.
Oh man!
But I'm a man of the people, and the people have spoken.
Grab my notebook.
CM Punk making an appearance in Madison Square Garden in the Garden in New York City, holiday tour, sold out. I'm like, stop acting like WWE don't sell out house shows. But anyways, they sold it out.
Yeah.
And he has arrived. He is here. He had a match against Dominic Mysterio. Chef, takeaways, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, brother.
I feel like they did the right thing by having this match. You knock the ring rust off before he's in the Rumble or before he wrestles on day one. Doing it in New York City, they clearly knew they were going to get a good reaction out of it. I mean, at this point, it's pretty substantial with what kind of crowds they get over there. They do cheer, they do boo. It's very strong, and I think New York City is probably another good place for him to get that reaction that they want, and where people actually cheer for him, and actually saying CM Punk, and they don't need the crowd noise. So I mean, it's I'm not surprised. All good things, and it is what it is as far as what all the hoopla before and all the things that you see on social media. It's good for him. It's getting him back in the rhythm of WWE-ness, if you will. So I mean, it's not my thing, but I know it's not, not everything's for everybody.
DPJR, what say you, brother?
Well, it's funny that the first thing I'm gonna say is that the crowd was saying you still got it. I mean, the dude been wrestling, guys. Come on now. Hey man, the dude been wrestling, man. I guess New York City, I guess in Manhattan, by MSG. Shout out to God, and if you will. But the thing with CM Punk is that he is a draw. He is a megastar. We can't argue the fact that he is a megastar.
Okay.
The thing to go along with that is that number one, he didn't look in the best of shape. He looked a little thick around the waistline, if you will. Shout out Dusty. And it's telling that he's not ready, which is okay to put him at a live show to get ready, but I mean, he essentially is the main event of MSG. He got a fake ticket that was made for him, I don't know what that was. It was pretty dope, but they made a ticket for him saying, "Thank you for coming home." But I don't know. I don't know that the dude is gonna make it to the end of 2024. So I think people are trying to give him these awards and these flowers because he might not know how to act, or he might get hurt. He might not make it, and might not make it. Shout out to me, but it's just difficult for me to buy into a guy whom essentially is known over the last 10 years for falling apart. Well, last 18 months, we'll say that. And I'm hoping for the best because I posted a gift to WWE that was like, "What was your reaction?" It was like the Infinity Stone to Thanos for me, because it's not him in general. It's the fact that WWE, that was the last ticket to make sure that they like the hottest of the hot. You know what I mean? Like red hot. I saw the lines to get merch yesterday in MSG, and that's wild.
I get DP. I get all that stuff you're saying, and that's the one thing that bothers me. Like if we're talking about just money, all right, man, all right. Like if this is what this is all about, cool, man. The merch line's moving, all right. But what bothers me about that is why everybody counting WWE's pockets? It ain't our money.
When you're breaking records, I mean, you got to let people know that you're breaking records. But the slick thing about their ass is that they would lead you to believe the dollar ain't 5 times as much as it was in the 80s, and it's a inflated number, and it sounds good. You go out to ESPN. Oh man, this is the highest grossing thing here, highest grossing thing there. Yeah, but people are paying the prices, so I guess there's that, but other than the inflation of the dollar, I don't see them making. It's about the equivalent of the same of what they were making in the late 90s, early 2000s. So everybody needs to take a chill pill. Just woosah, y'all. Hey, I hope y'all know that the dollar ain't worth what it used to be.
That's Bank of America. That's Bank of America. DPJR talking.
Hey, I'm trying to give y'all financial advice from your boy. Let me know. Shake me out.
Take the floor, bro.
I don't even remember the question.
CM Punk and MSG, baby. CM Punk and MSG.
I don't want to say anything that I'll go back and regret. Although I hear if you do that, that is a really good way to get rehired by a place that you trashed in the first place. The earlier take was spot on. He's a draw. He's a star. And I say this all the time. A lot of people do crack too. And a lot of crack dealers make a lot of money from selling crack. Mm-hmm. And it's very popular, but that doesn't make it right. And that doesn't make it good for you. So with that said, is WWE more interesting to me personally with CM Punk there? Honestly, yes, it is. Because I can text Evan at midnight and being like, what is, and basically talk trash about what's happening. So yes, it is more interesting. So I will give him that. I know he's a draw. He had several months to get in the best shape of his life. It's not that difficult to do when you have plenty of resources. I'm not saying we should body shame anybody either, but much like when he came back initially and cut a lackluster promo on the first night, and I know you got to let it simmer. The showing that he gave, that is the time when you knock it out of the park. And you can't just say, fight champ, fight forever. This is awesome. Just because you want to pop yourself and you want to be involved as the crowd. He should have given everyone no doubt and left nothing else left on the table and said, I'm going to put on a barn burner. I'm going to show you this is why they brought me back, because I do still got it. I am still the best in the world. That's a big, big moniker to live up to. And the last thing that I'll say before I hand it back, I am so tired of every superstar saying what their home is to pander to the fans. And this is definitely PG pandering Punk. If you watch his post-match promo, that's a lot of alliteration, by the way. That's a little bonus that I threw in. PG pandering.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson is from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He's from Miami. He's from Hawaii.
San Francisco.
He's from the Isle of Samoa.
The East Bay boy.
San Francisco. There is not a more synonymous superstar with one city than CM Punk. And New York and Chicago have this thing. They argue, they feud over pizza, they feud over everything. Don't you dare say you're coming home, because that's where WWE's, that's the Mecca, and that's the world's most famous arena. Your home is Chicago, and not every night's going to be Chicago. And to me, I thought the crowd eventually did embrace Punk. I'm sure they were happy to see him after all that time. But in my humble opinion, he is, as DP said, he spent the last several years falling apart emotionally and physically. So I don't wish anybody an injury, but I need to see more for this to actually make sense. And if he's going to beat the great Seth Rollins while Seth Rollins is in his prime, he's still not going to AEW.
Yeah, but listen, I agree with everything you guys are saying. And my whole thing is, listen, bro, WWE they need him to make it to April. That's what they needed to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
WWE is like, listen, you tell us what we need to do. Do we need to encase you in some glass? Do we need to cryogenically freeze you like Captain Steve Rogers? What do we need to do to get your ass to April? We don't know who you're going to face, but we need you to face somebody. Even though we sold a whole bunch of tickets, we want to sell a whole bunch more. We want more Peacock subscriptions. Whatever. CM Punk, Phil Brooks need to get his ass to April. We gonna give him Dominic Mysterio, who has fooled the world into thinking he is a draw. And he ain't.
I'm
saying, you know, I love that kid, but we need to stop acting like Dominic Mysterio is the best heel in wrestling. We gotta stop that bullshit.
Hey man, I tried to tell you last year what they was gonna tell you. But anyway, two things that I'm done about this Punk shit. Number one, it's not April that they need to get him to. They need to get him to the Warner Brothers deal, because it sounds like he's the key to get him that money. And that's his last thing. That's his last. Hey, that's his last bullet in the chamber at AEW. I'm gonna take your TV rights. And number two, Cleveland ain't messed with his ass either. So I gotta say, shout out to Chef, because Chef, we had on the scene in the stands, we had Kick Rocks in the crew, and he said that place was dead. I'm talking about, it was as quiet as San Francisco. You can hear a mouse pissing on a piece of cotton after Lamar Jackson ran all over them in San Francisco.
That boy was cooking last night, boy. Your boy was cooking. Yo, shout out to your boy. Listen, check it out, y'all. CM Punk, listen, Godspeed. Wish you all the best, brother. Listen, New Year's, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm being nice to everybody. Everybody's amazing. Everyone's awesome. As long as you get the bag, it's all that really matters. You can say whatever you want, do whatever you want. You can lie. You can talk about everybody at your job and you come back strong. Every Mac loves everybody. Everybody's amazing, Chef. Everybody's spectacular. You know what I mean? I'm so tired. As soon as I hate on everything, I get talk shit about. So you know what I'm gonna say? Everything is just peachy keen. This is a new Evan. Evan loves everybody. You know.
Kisses.
Oh my God! Stop.
Listen, moving on. Listen, last week I didn't talk about it, but I wanted to talk about it and kind of frame it in a different way. And that's Miss Charlotte having one of her, to me, like her first real major injury, like for real, and gonna miss WrestleMania. You know, we got a lady on the show, and you know I'm at with Charlotte Flair, but Charlotte Flair is going to be missing WrestleMania. There will be no Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. So Heidi Mack, what's your thoughts on Miss Charlotte not being at WrestleMania? Will there be a void? Will they be able to figure out something? Because to me, Charlotte Flair is Miss WrestleMania. So what say you?
I'm sorry if my stuff keeps cutting out because I keep hearing bits and pieces.
Good.
But yeah, no, it's a travesty. It's a travesty. I don't like. There will be a void. I don't know. Like things are not going to be as entertaining without her there. I just love watching her come down to down to show everyone. I just
do you think
I have no words. That's like I'm in shock and awe that she's not going to be there.
Do you think that because she won't be there, because we were talking about it kind of a little bit, but do you think?
See, I missed that.
You missed that. You missed that part. We'll just if you hear me, just chime in. Like, gentlemen, do you think because Charlotte won't be
nope.
at WrestleMania, do you?
I'm having issues, guys. So I'm sorry if I missed things.
It's okay. If you think Charlotte not being at WrestleMania, do you feel that that increases the chance that Sasha be there? Does that give WWE more pressure to bring Sasha here? Do you feel they have enough talent, JMC, to bring somebody else there, or doesn't that even matter?
No, I think they will manufacture even more of a reason to then say, well, let's pull the trigger and try to bring Mercedes in now. And before I go any further, is it too early to anoint Charlotte in the upper echelon, maybe top 5 all time already?
Is regards to wrestling, or we
talking everybody?
Let's say overall presentation as far as box office, charisma, natural charisma. I'm not saying she's the best promo, but in-ring ability, the whole package. Is Charlotte Flair already a top 5 talent all time?
10.
Top 10? Okay.
10.
What is she?
Regardless of gender, yes.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about women only right now.
Oh, women only.
Women only. She's top 3 and she's not 2.
Yeah, she's top 3 and she ain't 2.
Charlotte's natural presence is so good at being a heel. She had me, a 30-plus year veteran of watching wrestling and someone who works in the marketing and entertainment world, think that she was a horrible human being. And Evan's like, no, she's a sweetheart.
Angel.
Heidi's like, no, she you guys have been around her. I haven't. But I do think her presence will be missed. I consider her, she is box office, she is pageantry. The best women's match I ever saw in my entire life was last year at WrestleMania.
No question.
With Rhea and Charlotte. And that's a lineage of great wrestling matches. Now, WWE puts other organizations to shame in a lot of ways, but the way that they put, let's just say, their only competition really, Impact's women's division is pretty good. AEW's women's division is so far away from WWE's. There's so much talent in that. These women are brilliant. You could easily elevate somebody else, but you're not going to elevate them to Charlotte's level, not with just a few months shy of WrestleMania. So obviously her presence will be missed. I hope she shows up at the show and gets an appearance or waves or gets to cut a promo or something. But yes, her presence will definitely be missed. And now what better way to bring Mercedes in to sort of fill that void? And then then there's a built-in feud there. Becky's been floundering a little bit, showing up on NXT, and with no disrespect to Nia Jax, but she hasn't really been, front and center as much as most people would probably like her to be. So there's a lot of stuff you can immediately do with Mercedes should you bring her back in. So I think now is the time.
Chef, what say you?
I think while it will be, greatly missed with her being there, because they definitely had the bulk of women on SmackDown, so that definitely cuts a small hole in the competition or relevancy of EO being champ. And so, yes, you can bring in Mercedes, but I almost wonder if you bring her in, do you put her on Raw because Rhea hasn't had any legit competition, or
that's a good point.
Do you pull the trigger now on Jade? And you put but I'm not saying I'm agreeing with you, but
no gray area there.
No middle ground.
It's a strong
black and white.
It's a strong
black is called white is school glue. You hear me?
what do we do with our champions currently? Like, what do we do in terms of building the best matches for WrestleMania for both of our women's champions without signing Mercedes? So is the only way to elevate them to sign Mercedes?
Well, they've been building the damage control breakup for months, but then they kind of pull it back almost because it almost feels like they can't close the deal with Sasha. So it feels like that it's right there for damage control to break up because that's just what they do. And then Bailey gets saved by Sasha, maybe. But guys, by the way, side note, because you made me think of it, I think Io is amazing.
She's one of the best in the world.
Yeah,
it's my women's wrestler of the year.
She's one of the best in the world. Like you can like bar none, male, female, whatever you want to do. You know, Io is Io. She when I come to my opinion about having to be able to cut a promo in English, some wrestlers can transcend what I'm saying. Very few can. Asuka figured out a way to do it. Io figured out a way to do it, but these people are few and far between. I'm sorry. And anyone that thinks I'm wrong about that, you just tell me who the greatest of all time are, and you tell me what language they speak, and I'll sit here and wait. That's tell me what promo they cut in, and tell me the best promo you've ever heard, and tell me what language you heard it in. I don't. It's not going to be Hindi. It's not. It's not going to be in Russian. So like when you see a person,
it ain't gonna be in Slovakian.
It ain't gonna be that either. So like when you see a wrestler like Io who could transcend that and be her own type of entity, but still because of Bailey helped her though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey and Dakota, they helped her be a presence and kind of speak for her a little bit. And you know Io is not getting where she is without that crew, and that's why she was kind of put together with them. You know, so Io's great. She still needs a viable competitor. At the chef's point, she needs somebody to bounce off. Like I'm not saying Sasha is the savior, but I'm telling you how WWE thinks. They like splashes. They like box office. They like moments. They get a little nervous when it comes to like, okay, what are we gonna do with this match here? For example, like they felt compelled to bring Ronda in because they didn't think that match could main event. Becky and Charlotte. They didn't trust it. So they brought in a Ronda in a triple threat match. Like they get a little weird about stuff. So the chef's point, if Jade's a draw enough for them to be built in less than a couple months, why not? It'll save you a couple bucks. Because Charlotte's coming with Sasha's coming with a price tag. Miss Mercedes is coming with a price tag.
A big price tag.
So,
if you can bring back CM Punk, you can bring back Sasha. Come on now.
That part right there. I think that the injury of Charlotte Flair somewhat deterred plans. I think they're going to push an idea for the 2025 or the 2025 Royal Rumble. Could have been in the 2024 Royal Rumble because I think they got Sasha in the bag. Like she's out here posting WWE dolls on her Instagram. Like she wasn't doing that. Like don't tell on yourself now. Let us be a little shocked. But I think that this year was gonna be the Final Four was gonna be the Horsewomen. That would have been a moment. I think that would have been a moment. Now you got to push that moment back to 2025, probably when Charlotte Flair is returning from her injury. Because her timeline is 9 months. She got hurt in December. That puts her at August, maybe September. But why would you bring her back at some rinky-dink pay-per-view? And you don't want to bring somebody coming back from a knee reconstruction and War Games. That's a terrible idea. So then you bring her back at the Royal Rumble, and then you can have that moment then and there. Then she can earn her title shot. I'm booking a little bit forward, but that's just how my mind works.
You can do that.
I think there's going to be a void, but I don't think there's going to be as big as a void as everybody thinks.
Go ahead.
What were you about to say?
No, I was Belt God came on and he's saying Rhea Bianca. You cool with that?
Yeah. I mean, I think like I said, I was going back and listening to our old episodes, and I had an idea in March. I was warning Tony Khan not to let Jay Cargill go, and I think the remnants of that is going to affect WrestleMania, and I think you can get that Jade Cargill Bianca Belair match at Mania. They might probably break the glass and push the buttons. One of those two are going to eliminate each other from the Royal Rumble, and I think that's how you get to that WrestleMania match.
Okay.
But the impact is going to be felt, but the impact isn't as big as everybody thinks because Charlotte Flair has been in and out of the WWE since 2020. She's been in, she's been out. She's been here, she's been gone. She wrestles at the big pay-per-views for the most part. She takes breaks a lot. And I just wrote down some names, all right? You got Sasha Banks lurking. You got Rhea Ripley. You got Bayley. You got Becky Lynch. Bianca Belair. You got Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez. You got Tiffany Stratton, Cora Jade, Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane. That's a loaded roster.
Oh, I agree with that.
That's a loaded roster, and it's going to take a little bit of time for the creative. But my point is that they have enough talent to where they can all raise their game a little bit, and people will forget that she's gone until she's back, and then the moment will be even better because you'll forget that she's gone, and then boom, she'll be there, and she's probably going to win the Royal Rumble in 2025. But it's up to these women to elevate a little bit, not much, just a little bit from everybody because that's a lot.
They gotta elevate because Charlotte's worth like 6 of them people you just named. I'm keeping it
AJ Lee. You got AJ Lee in the way.
We ain't got nothing.
I'm just telling you. Hey,
she's alive. Don't mean we got. We ain't got shit.
You're right. You're right.
Listen. Monge said he got Becky. Monge got Becky winning the Royal Rumble. Belt God said Trish off the bench as well. I go, yeah. You can. She can pinch hit. You know. You could bring a leader in.
Yeah, they already did that. But
this whole point is just me saying who can fill the void of Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair pull up and she's in the WrestleMania match. That's what I'm talking about. Not too many people can say that. She literally walked into the building and she's in a WrestleMania match. So I'm trying to say, and after last year, to me, she put on the greatest female wrestling match of all time. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is subtract her. Listen, Chef come up with a Jade option. That's viable. If you can make it work, Bayley winning the Royal Rumble, Monge, that makes sense. Monge said, I'd wait for Mercedes conversation because all these cryptic tweaks got me thinking she's going to AEW. She might pull up at World's End. I'm like, I
wonder.
To wrestle who though, Monge?
I've often thought that they should tinker with the idea. Heidi may feel otherwise; she's the most qualified to answer. But the women's division gets a little watered down to me at times because it seems like the upper echelon is so great, and then there's like a lower tier, and there's not really anyone that's like in between.
It's true. Yeah, I feel like there's nobody in between either.
Yeah. So I've thought about what if you put the tag team titles on one show and have all the tag divisions so that doesn't get watered down, and then you have the women's division on another show and they can have 3 or 4 matches per SmackDown, for example. Why not? So I like it. What I would love to see, and I'm just spitballing here, World Heavyweight Championship, Women's Championship, Intercontinental Women's Champion or U.S. Women's Champion, that's on your one show. Then the other show has the WWE Universal title in your tag team. That way, all your tag teams are not watered down. Everybody's in the mix. You can introduce new challengers or multiple angles at once, and then the women can have bangers, and you get those people that are lying in the weeds up to par, and then Jade can have a couple squash matches or some enhancement or tune-up matches. And that's not the only women's match of the night because it is annoying. And especially if I was a woman, but it's annoying as a wrestling fan. Like AEW is very guilty of it even more. 1 women's match per event. Like that's it. In WWE, the women can go.
Yeah. You got Monge saying Britt Baker, Saraya, Tony. I'm like, Monge, really though? Really? Britt Baker, Saraya, Tony Storm, maybe. Like what I'm talking about, dude. I'm talking about Sasha Banks, bro. I'm talking about
if Rhea and Charlotte's not the best women's match in WWE history,
Bayley and Sasha in NXT,
or Charlotte and Sasha at some point.
Yeah, Charlotte, Sasha. Yeah, they. Whew.
You know what? You hear? You know the theme here? There's a lot of Sasha going on in this theme here.
A lot of Charlotte, a lot of Sasha.
Another person who I assumed
I mean, she did leave really angry though, so I mean, maybe she just goes
always,
spitefully.
but they always do though, man. You know they always do. Everybody leave WWE mad. I left mad.
Leadership is different now. Leadership is different now. The women just need creative. That's why I said it's simple. They just need creative. It's real simple. Put as much energy into women that you are into the men, because the talent is there. I know
that's a tough sell. Like I don't necessarily agree with that. I agree, but I don't.
I said energy, not time. Energy.
Energy's a lot.
They still have to cut promos.
Energy takes time.
Hey, you seen they stock lately? They can afford it.
Oh, bro, I told you I don't count WWE's pockets.
My bad. You right.
No, you good. I'm just saying I don't count them. You can count them. I don't count them.
I ain't counting them. I'm just telling you, like they have the talent. I just went through the names, and if they just put more time, I guess not as much energy, but I guess the equivalent per capita. Just like there's there's enough. You don't have to give them the same amount of energy as the males because there's more there, but you can diversify your portfolio and give them something to do instead of sitting them on the side.
Let's ask the member of Fair Sex who's right here. Heidi, I'm not being disrespectful.
No. And again, I'm trying to chime in, but it's just whenever if something gets cut out, I don't hear it. So
well, I'm gonna ask everybody this, but I'll start with Heidi. Is there a great promo cutter in the women's division right now? Because I would probably say Becky might be the best.
She probably is. I just get annoyed with her. It's just I'm sorry. I know people hate my opinion. I get annoyed with the man.
Let me hear it. I want to hear something different.
No sense.
She don't like the man.
I can't stand I was like, why do you want to be the man? Like, we're a woman. Why do you want to be the man? We should not want to be the man. We should want to be the woman. Like, there should be a W-O in front of that. Like, so I get a little annoyed with the whole the man thing. So I'm like, sorry, Becky, you're probably a nice person.
You could be a little confused on days.
Would you agree that she's the best promo cutter female wise?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, because when Charlotte's out there,
yeah,
and man, that's hard because I've heard Rhea talk too. So
Rhea's getting really good.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting good. So I'm like, I don't know.
Bailey low key.
Bailey's always been good. Bailey's been good.
Yeah, she's always been good. Yeah, I mean, I liked her less heel. I'm a Bailey as a baby face.
Bailey, yeah.
I like that. I do too. She doesn't. I see through her. I love Bailey, but I see through her as a heel so quickly.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel right.
It's hard to get past that side ponytail. Hey man, she was a hugger forever.
I mean, we all want to hug.
Yeah, let me switch gears real quick because I've been looking at this damn thing since. So I don't know who wrote it, but I've been looking at it. This is you. Yeah, this is you. I think this is you, DP. Because did I put it down? Yeah, I don't know what the hell this Negro's talking about. Hold on. Listen, I think the person to beat Roman is right in front of our faces, and nobody has said his name. What in the hell are you talking about right now?
Who wrote that?
Look, I don't think nobody's saying his name. Look, Solo, baby. Hold on, let me stand up. Shout out Dolly Parton. Who's look, I personally feel that the person to beat Roman Reigns, his name has not been spoken of. I ain't talking about Cody Rhodes. I ain't talking about Seth Rollins. I ain't talking about CM Punk. And I ain't talking about Solo Sikoa. I ain't talking about Jey Uso. I ain't talking about nothing. Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Who the most dominant professional wrestler right now?
What the hell are you talking about right now?
Who's the most dominant professional wrestler right now?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Outside, I'm talking about like here, like Roman Reigns, outside of Roman Reigns, put him in his own category.
The ring general.
Gunther?
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I think Gunther is going to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. He's the most unbelievable. He's unstoppable. He's his build. I'm trying to tell y'all. All right, man.
I don't think he has the fan base, but
DP. When you were a child in middle school and high school,
Bill God said boo, anticlimactic. He said boo.
All right.
Go.
Okay, all right.
if you,
all right, mark my words.
I hope Dylan Matthews makes a gif out of this because remember how it was always when your parents were pissed off, you're like, I can live with that. But when they're disappointed, you don't want you can't live with that.
See?
Jeff and Evan were just so disappointed.
We were.
We were like,
oh man.
we were so pissed.
Look, think about it. I personally think it's the ring general, is Gunther. His reign over the WWE with the Intercontinental Championship is second to none. He has the greatest reign. And who would benefit more from a victory over Roman Reigns?
I personally want like a gang up. I want like a bunch of them come out, like, because he's ultimate, no one can fight him. So I'm like,
a whole bunch of people.
No, I just want like people just starting to come out like from everywhere. They just like steal it. I just want them to steal the belt.
Listen, DP, to answer to get to the nitty gritty.
I'm just saying.
I would agree if WWE wasn't so they're very like heel versus babyface, like that's their thing.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a year, 2 years. We talking about it could be WrestleMania. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. Hey man, not necessarily this year, but if you just think about it, and I personally was thinking about who would benefit the most. I'm just asking y'all, do y'all honestly with a straight face think Cody Rhodes is gonna beat Roman Reigns?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think CM Punk is gonna beat Roman Reigns?
No.
Do you think Jey Uso is gonna beat Roman Reigns?
Hell no.
Do you think Seth Rollins is going to be Roman Reigns?
No,
we don't have to worry about this.
We're running out of names.
We're running out of names.
We are running out of names.
DP
very demonstrative with his actions. What's going on?
We're running out of names. And I'm just saying, like, that the one name that sticks out on the roster who has been unstoppable, who has been built perfectly, and who could honestly send Roman Reigns into a babyface run. Because he could beat his ass so bad in story, and then boo, you can get him as a babyface. I'm just trying to think outside the box because there's nobody left except him.
DP. Chef, what you got?
Come on, Chef. Give me a little paprika.
David.
What's up, baby?
I know you got better takes than this.
Oh my God. I'm telling you.
I know that you
this ain't about coming in high, Chef. This is about thoughts.
You sat down with your clipboard and your notes.
I ain't got no clipboard. I ain't the belt guy now. I ain't trying to bring nothing up here.
You did all these calculations to get to that formula and that answer of Gunther.
Yeah. Why is it such a shock? Tell me another name. Damn, why you quiet, bro?
We just thought
when
you did the PowerPoint presentation, me and Chef thought you was gonna say something like crazy, like MJF.
Oh man, we'll get to that later.
You set us down. Give me a down like it was that Entourage episode where every time Vince went to go see a new agency, they had the same PowerPoint presentation.
I remember that episode. It's a good episode.
Boy, it'd be like Tony Thomas gonna get this heat this year, bro. I'm trying to tell you, listen to me.
I hear you, but I don't know if
you're not listening.
The only thing I agree with you is making him a babyface. And yes, that would be the biggest heel to do that, but I don't know if they would do that.
I'm asking you for a name. Give me a name.
I wanted a gang. I just wanted a gang.
If I could go with such a better tape,
I think it'd be entertaining.
If it isn't hot enough, light the stove and give me a name and tell me how I'm wrong.
Because they'll probably do Voldemort.
No, bro, you want to try and give me a lead this call early. Come on, man.
No, he's not wrong. Because listen, let me tell you how you know he's not wrong.
You said Voldemort over wrong.
Listen, this is how you know he's not
wrong. Oh my God.
They're going out of their way to make this dude a super baby face.
I'm not happy about it either. I'm trying
to get me
happy about this. We ain't happy about this.
I gave you a logical name. I went through thoughts. I gave you the why he is where he is, how Roman Reigns is beating everybody except that guy.
Hasn't beat Seth.
He has not beat Seth Rollins.
He defended his title versus him.
He has
you know,
Seth Rollins.
It doesn't matter who walked out with the title. We can talk about wins and losses, but who left with the championship?
You said he beat everybody.
he ain't beat Seth.
Excuse me. Footnote. He was a footnote. Hey,
Yo,
he made it past them. Did he make it past them? Did he make it past them?
Oh my God.
Did he make it past them? Like we talking about that, like that Dusty
Listen,
Rhodes.
first of all, shout out to Gunther and his newborn baby. Congratulations to having a
Even
newborn.
better.
Beautiful
He gonna have that
thing.
daddy
Healthy
too.
baby he had. Shout out to Gunther. He ain't being Roman Reigns for a long time.
Hey, I told you that, but you said you want to see it first. I'm like, give me a name. Nobody can give me nothing.
He got to
Everybody's-
be. We have to figure out a way to make a Roman babyface for that to happen. Gunther either winning the Royal Rumble this year or Money in the Bank next year is viable to me. But you have to understand. I'm telling you, they literally have mandates in that company for real.
Yeah.
Like for good guy, bad guy. I'm telling you, this is not like a thing. Good guy, bad guy has to be good guy, bad guy. So anytime you see anybody facing anybody one-on-one, there is a baby face, there is a heel. That is like ironclad. I promise you, dude. Like they can fight or have a match, but it won't have any real implications. You mark my words. Babyface heel, babyface heel, babyface heel. That's all it's going to be. Heel is Roman Reigns right now. Heel is Gunther right now. They will not face each other. They will not. I promise you they won't.
You know what, Evan? I'm gonna defer to you.
I'm gonna defer to you.
I'm gonna defer to you. I'm gonna defer to you.
You know I'm right, because think about it. Think about it. Think about who fights. Just name a match right now. Name a match, and it's gonna be a good guy and it's gonna be a bad guy fighting. They may listen. Look, who last night? They're going out their way to make CM Punk the baby face, and who they put him against? Dominant. They could have had so many other better matchups for him, like even heel, even babyface matchups that would have been better for him. Him and Chad Gable would have been a better match. It would have been a better match, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it. You know why? Because Chad's a good guy. Like I'm telling you, man, they are so your premise is sound from a who deserves that, but man,
he earned it.
They gotta have to make roll.
But you're right.
Maybe face first.
I think it can happen. I think it can happen. Paul Heyman could turn on him. You never know.
Gunther can
you
get
never know.
Where
you never know.
He's a baby face in the way that the hardcore fans will cheer him at premium live events.
Stone Coldish, you mean?
And because they respect him so much, how good he is. Half the crowd's like that with Roman now, but the casual fan still says, Roman sucks, I'm sick of him. And that's another reason to keep him heel. That's another reason they don't put him on TV that often, because they know that people say stuff like that. So I applaud DP for like thinking a little bit outside the box, because we have exhausted a lot of possibilities. But to your point last week, Evan, I don't think we have to worry about this for many, many months.
Wow. I'm talking about a year and a half from now. I ain't even talking about it.
But for Gunther to be a true babyface, and by the way, we need to give a little bit of credit to The Miz, because Miz brought out the I love the approach they're taking with Gunther in his promos now. It's almost like I'm so much better than you because I live and breathe this, and I don't like let my body or my life get interfered with stupid stuff like The Miz. And then The Miz just proved, and Gunther brought this out of him. Let's not make a mistake. Miz proved that he's a world-class professional wrestler. He works the main event. He's not doing shit. But that is how you elevate both guys. Even when one guy takes a pinfall multiple times, he was able to elevate Miz and Gunther at the same time. So.
I agree, brother. Listen, we all know he's a workhorse of WWE.
Also,
he's the guy people go to when they want to launch somebody. He's the guy they want to go to make somebody viable. He's the guy they're going to go. That'll be the first person MJF goes against if he makes the move to WWE. Miz is the invaluable resource to WWE because
he's in his 40s.
And he's in his 40s, and he's built up enough cachet and clout where people take him seriously in a match. But not to the point where him losing will hurt his stock. First ballot Hall of Famer, and for Gunther to have a feud with him, because with all due respect to Gunther, he's still relatively new to people.
43.
He's still relatively new to people. So making Gunther mainstream is still important.
He's 2 years younger than CM Punk. Miz.
Hey, the ring in around told you the value of Miz to him. You know, he said that dude was invaluable.
Listen. So we'll put a pin in that, but I like that, bro. I like it. Listen, PAW booed you, David booed you, I booed you, but we still We still love you, man.
You were
I love y'all too. Hey, now, don't make me go back and reach back into the cannon and grab that thing. I'll tell you, I told you so. You know how I do it.
What the hell? All right, yo, listen. All right, yo, JMC. So he came out. I can't even mind my business sometimes. I'm relaxing, trying to watch a movie with my damn wife. Here come Goldberg, mad at Vince McMahon. Yo, Vince McMahon, listen, calling Vince McMahon a piece of shit. I'm like, Lord have mercy. All right. He said that he would only put over Roman Reigns if he was in Saudi, if he was able to get a retirement match. He said he agreed to it. Next thing you know, he doesn't get the retirement match. He's very salty right now. So JMC, did Goldberg deserve a retirement match? Does he have a legitimate gripe? Because I'm sure this conversation happened. I'm sure it did. He's one thing you can say about Goldberg is he's a no-nonsense guy. He's not going to be making up stuff for clicks. So, but what say you when you heard about this takeaway from William Goldberg?
Bill Goldberg, who I met one time, was a sweet, sweet man. He loves animals. I think that in a lot of ways, he's underrated, but in a lot of other realistic ways, he's also been a product of two systems that bought into him wholeheartedly and a lot of guys that made him look like $1 million. Ooh. So while I don't dislike Goldberg, you're not going to hear a lot of Vince McMahon hatred from me.
Not happening.
Personal things aside, he has his issues.
I'm a Vince McMahon mark, though. I want people to understand it right now.
But until people say, and this is going off on a tangent, I'll bring it right back. But we love Triple H. We love what he's doing. He's still using the formula. He's still using every single epitaph. He's using everything that Vince laid out to this day. Promo match to the end of time. If that's the basic formula of professional wrestling, we know who brought it to the forefront. We know who made it viable. We know who made it mainstream. So what Bill should have done is said, thank you for the gobs and gobs of millions of dollars that I've worked for since I came to the company, I believe 2003, and immediately got to beat The Rock clean as a whistle twice.
Beat Brock Lesnar in 90 seconds.
So
when he was in his prime.
Thank you for the career. Thank you for letting me perform in front of my kid who didn't see me in my prime. Thank you for letting me still be a superstar and work with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. Did I mention the millions of dollars? Thank you for letting me beat The Fiend. Thank you for letting me beat Bobby Lashley. So Vince, I'd love to have a retirement match. What do you need me to do to make that happen? That's the approach I would take.
Yeah.
And at the same time, guys, let's be honest. There was a time when it was The Rock and Stone Cold. I'll put Stone Cold in popularity this much higher than The Rock, just amongst wrestling fans, not mainstream. Bill Goldberg was right here. And that's during the Nitro era.
He was huge.
They're in the NWO and Bill Goldberg were as big as mainstream media got during that time. So he's a legitimate star.
Make no mistake, he's the real deal.
And you can try to recreate him with a Ryback or somebody.
It'll never happen.
It doesn't work. So Goldberg has value, no question. Do I think he deserves a retirement match? 100%. But I also think there's a pecking order, and since people like saying it, there's levels to this shit.
Uh-oh.
And you got to go
levels.
You said Vince, Triple H. Who do you need me to put over on the way out, brother? This industry's been good to me. Keep in mind, Bill Goldberg didn't even like wrestling at first.
At all.
And then he's like, oh, now I have a resurgence and a reappreciation for it. And my kid gets to see me be a superhero. Come on, man.
I think the greatest interest in history of wrestling is Goldberg.
It is.
Ever.
I was thinking of that.
Ever. WCW intro. No one, you could give me The Undertaker. You can give me you can give me the special WWE WrestleMania one. That don't count. That dude had security guards knocking on the door and him walking to Pyro. Man, that's the greatest interest in wrestling history. It is the most intimidating, the most amazing, the most spectacular. That is the greatest Eric Bischoff creation to me of all time. It just is.
Blood on the head.
Blood on the head.
Blood on the head. Yeah.
His head on the door. I go, this. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. He goes, "You ready for you, Goldberg?" Have just come on through. Snarling. I'm like,
going crazy.
Good. The crowd chanting Goldberg. So we're not going to take anything away from what he represents. I don't. But before I kick it to the chef, what I don't like, me personally, bro, I don't like public grievances on social media. That I don't like. Now that's just me personally. You see what I'm saying? Anytime I go on my rant about WWE or where I used to work, letting me go, I'm never going to say who let me go. I'm never gonna do it.
I think you'd be even more cordial if you had 15 million in the bank.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. If I had Goldberg money, I really would keep my damn mouth shut. But but thoughts on that? The grievances, Chef, the Goldberg in general, like what, damn. I ain't seen this happening a couple of days after Christmas.
I think he's within his right to want to have something done for him because of what he's done for the company in his eyes or whatever. Yeah. And like you said, right now it doesn't fit in the plans. So it would have to be like a spectacle event, like having him in Saudi one more time, or when they do like Night of Champions, or when they do, an offshoot something where it's not unless you do SummerSlam where it doesn't matter because it's not Rumble or WrestleMania. Okay. You could do something like that, but again, there's so much going on and there's so much talent already in the E that there's no room for a one-off retirement match just to make the man feel better.
He got a retirement tour. He got he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
yeah, right. I thought that right. So I don't know what his issue is. So it's just
I think his main issue is that having a conversation with someone that says, yes, if you put over Roman and study, you get to pick the way you go out. That's I think the fundamental problem. It's always going to be hard for me to sympathize. I told you, I'll say it before, I'll say it before, and I'll say it again. I got different rules than other people. It's hard for Evan Mack to sympathize with millionaires. It's just hard.
Was that his last match?
Oh, what was his last match?
The last one I remember was Bobby Lashley, but I know he's had one since then.
Whoever it was, he wasn't happy with the match. He wanted to pick his last opponent. He wanted to do the thing. Everyone knows the rite of passage in wrestling, the Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels thing. He wanted where he got to pick. He didn't get to pick. He feels slighted because he evidently didn't want to go to Saudi and put over Roman. But I get that. I told you it's always going to be hard for me to sympathize with a multi-millionaire. It's just going to be hard.
Oh, his last match was against Roman.
It was against Roman. Oh, see, that was okay. There it is. So last match was against
February
Roman.
2022, and then Roman went on to beat Brock Lesnar.
Oh, clearly that was. Vince was trying to okie doke. Vince put the okie doke on him. This is your last match. You just
because before that he faced Lashley twice.
Yeah,
but see, people jump the gun on this. Vince could have said not right now. Do we know this for a fact? I'm not saying that Bill's making anything up, but
he's tight about something, though. He's tight.
Maybe he just hasn't heard anything from him. But I mean, what better way to go out on your shield and lose to the top guy in the business?
Not in his opinion. Maybe what if he had somebody else in mind? What if he had? I don't know. What if he had a conversation with Dwayne? Who knows?
Well, when Kurt Angle wanted John Cena at WrestleMania but got buried in Corbin, he said, "WWE's been good to me. I love it, but I'll do it."
Hard for me to feel bad for a multi-millionaire. Listen, Monge says if Goldberg was the devil in AEW, I'm like,
man, Miles slid in my DMs with that. I said, man, he's too big for that.
He's too big to be the devil.
Hey, maybe CM Punk's return has ripple effects that touch Bill Goldberg. So because he was like, how you gonna bring this dude back to talk all this shit? Everything. Just pissed all over the WWE, wiped his ass, threw it at him, didn't matter. Talked all that shit. And then you're gonna bring him back, open the red carpet, roll it out, and here comes CM Punk like he never left. We're gonna give him everything, and I get nothing. I'm Goldberg. You know who I am. You know who I am.
You gotta listen.
Don't you remember I slid in the chat, and then he said, "You're last." All right, bro. He did it. Man. He said it himself, bro. So you knew it was your retirement match, and then you're gonna get mad at Vince McMahon and Triple H and Endeavor because they ain't got nothing for you. Man, kick rocks.
Listen, here we go. All right, here we go. Check it out. World's End's coming up this weekend. I don't know if anybody cares on this podcast. I'm not saying you shouldn't care. I'm not. That's why I'm not trying to be a dick. I swear. Because I'm trying to tell you, I said it before and I'll say it again. The more wrestling, the better for me. Because this is a damn wrestling podcast. But JMC, yes, last chance. This is it. We're coming into the new year. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Does MJF leave for WWE, or is this a foregone conclusion and he continues in AEW wasted his youth.
I'm gonna harp back to what I said a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna stand firm. I think he has already quietly re-signed, and it is now the bidding war of 2024, as he puts it, has now become part of a storyline that is taking a backseat to the devil. I will also amend, but still stay consistent. I will amend my devil pick from last week. I think they're gonna, because of Adam Cole's injury, I think they're gonna go Scream style, if you guys remember that. And I think Britt Baker and Adam Cole are both going to be the devil at different times, pulling different strings, because Adam Cole can't wrestle. However, none of this makes sense unless it ends with MJF losing the title. So I don't know what they're doing. But unfortunately for now, I think Maxwell Jacob Freeman stays. I think he's already re-signed. I hope I'm wrong. Evan and I talked about this at length. We don't disagree on much. I don't even disagree with you, because you said, and so eloquently put it, there's 3 generations of talent right now that he can tire, he can work with, he can learn from, he can teach something too. MJF's a bad boy. He's one of my favorite of all time already.
3 generations right now in WWE.
And if you always say that you want to prove that you're as good as you think you are, now is the time to go back in and cook with who's there right now and say, I am every bit as good as I said I was. I'm going to prove it against Seth Rollins, against Cody.
Do you know what kind of regrets you would have if you miss out on wrestling Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns? Like, you really think you could just get stuff back? John Cena? You gonna regret that.
The best Jey Uso.
WWE, and you're wrestling Carmelo Hayes, who with all due respect, who gives a shit? Seriously.
The best thing CM Punk ever did was that feud with MJF.
Yes. We talk about this all the time. My whole point is, in AEW right now, currently, gentlemen, ladies, right now, currently, what hasn't he done? He's done it all. He has. He's done it in WWE. He hasn't done it all. Like, what I'm trying to say is, he's AEW champion. He's wrestled everybody.
Longest reign ever.
What I'm trying to say is, why are you there? Why? Because you just want to be there. But if you listen, DP, what say you, bro?
Yeah, it's like wants and needs, right? What do I want? What do I need? Well, damn, I want and need him in WWE. That's what I want. That's what I need, baby. But the question is, does he like being a big fish in a small pond? Is he ready? Does he think he can garner the attention of a Cody Rhodes through the fans? Does he think he can garner the attention of a Roman Reigns? What about a Seth Rollins? What about a CM Punk? You know, and it takes some grande huevos to slide out of AEW and go into an unknown territory. Personally, do I think he would thrive? Hell yeah. He is something completely unique to the WWE. And I personally think that he would flourish because there's a multitude of wrestlers that we haven't even mentioned, that Evan didn't even mention, with the beautiful soliloquy. He talked about the talent that we have in the WWE that he can work up to, cut a promo, work up to, be the greatest that he can be. And actually, if he wants to be a wrestler and an actor, maybe do both in the WWE. Might not happen in AEW.
Yeah, they'll get you there with their newfound relationships. And that's who retires John Cena.
Yes.
John Cena's been looking for a superstar that can hang on the mic for years.
He's been looking for the right person to retire him, the right young person to retire him, and that's the one.
I don't think he got it for a long time.
Evan kind of swayed me a little bit last episode because I've been thinking about it, and if World's End is going to tell everything. World's End is going to tell everything. Because if Joe goes over, hey, hit the air horn. We got trouble on the horizon, and that can help AEW because they can book it into a storyline. But if he just simply goes over Samoa Joe and he's the devil, man, that might cause permanent damage to AEW because you're going backwards to where you should have never left if you're going to turn a babyface because he was killing it as a heel. You're like biting your nose off. Yeah, spite your face. Thank you, Evan. You know what I was trying to say. Appreciate you. I'm good. I'm a good wordsmith, but sometimes I got so many thoughts it slips like a transmission.
Guys, I'd be very concerned for AEW if MJF leaves of all the boulders that Tony Khan is committed. That is going to be the biggest one.
I mean, they brought in Adam Copeland. They brought in Adam Copeland, and if you ask me, it seems like they're trying to take the book out of the WWE and try to season the main event scene. But the problem is they're seasoning with people that's too old, and they ain't healthy. Just saying, like John Moxley isn't in the best of health all the time. Bryan Danielson ain't in the best of health all the time. Chris Jericho ain't in the best of health of all time. We know, we know what happened to Edge and how long he was gone. So I'm just asking, what are y'all? Christian Cage, main event scene. That's what it is. I mean, but they picking the wrong guys. I mean, if you were going to do that season shit, you should have kept Cody Rhodes and CM Punk.
Every single person you named, with the exception of Christian Cage, was more interesting, and a bigger star the first day they walked through the door of AEW than they are now.
100%.
And that's a huge
that's a problem. That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Seth Rollins is bigger than he ever has been ever,
and continues to grow.
And he was a part of one of the greatest factions in history of wrestling.
Yeah, no, you're going to go through peaks and valleys.
But think about that though. How the hell is he bigger? How?
Yeah.
Who's thinking about Darby Allin right now?
Nobody.
I forgot.
Who's thinking about Jack Perry? Who's thinking about Sammy Guevara? Who's thinking about Daniel Garcia? Who's thinking about Wheeler Yuta? We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn about them, and that's a problem. That is a huge problem.
Yo, Chef, MJF staying or going, man. Last call, because this is the last show before the world's end, so we got to put it on.
Yeah, he's staying. I mean, everything lines up for him to leave, and that's what he should do, and that's what we feel like he should do. Mm-hmm. But I agree with JMC. I think, quietly it's already taken care of, and it's something that the media has run with, or the internet has run with, and they're not good for them. Any promotion is good, or any being talked about in any way is a good thing. So they're not going to shut it down. They're going to allow people to talk and allow people to wonder and allow people.
Why would they? Yeah, you're right.
But he's their biggest commodity. He's their hottest commodity. He's their best commodity. It would be the end of the company if he got away, right? Like from Cody and Jay leaving, they obviously aren't going to just let him walk next week for nothing. Nothing about what's led up to this says that he's leaving.
Agreed.
Yes, did they have to change storyline? They had to start over. They had to come up with something new. But nothing about what's transpired on TV leads me to believe he's leaving, even though he should.
Well said. Agree with all counts.
Can we put a mark on that real quick? Because you and I talked about this.
Go ahead.
Anyone else think it's strange that now? Again, I'm the one who said he stayed. He's staying. He just premiered in a film that he's only in for a few minutes, but he's an executive producer of, and they want more eyeballs on their product. They want to rub elbows. You don't send one AEW talent.
Ludicrous.
To the red carpet movie premiere?
Ludicrous. Yeah. Liv Morgan there, John Cena there, Baron Corbin there.
And that's why I think WWE has a chance. Because if he didn't sign that deal and you bring in those heavy hitters, they're like, listen, you think this movie is great. I know a couple producers. I know a couple directors. Hey, man, slide on over to the WWE. If we know some guys.
If I'm Tony Khan, and my guys aren't big enough stars, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put $10 million into a one-night event. We're going to have our own damn movie premiere because this needs to look like a huge deal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to invite WWE people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the money to spend.
Dude, listen.
JMC, he should slide your inbox for your ideas. Go ahead and hire JMC.
Listen,
hire that man.
Tony should have been hiring me and Jay. I'd work for half the money I did to get this shit right.
I've been waiting on Tony ass. Don't get me. I'll help your ass.
Yo, Chef. We gonna kick it to Chef. Since David stole his match last week, Unceremoniously. I'm trying to do a thing here every week. We're gonna go around the horn. We're gonna get people's favorite matches of all time. They have to pick only one. DP went first. Jack, the chef's match.
Highway robbery. Highway robbery.
That bitch like the Grinch stole Christmas. You hear me?
Jesse James ain't got shit on this dude. Listen, but Chef, you have the floor, brother. What is your backup favorite match of all time?
All right. I mean, I got a plethora of amazing matches in my memory that I didn't even have to really look into the archives of Peacock. You know, shout out to the WWE Network and all that good stuff. So my spirit animal, my favorite wrestler growing up was The Rock already, and then I found out he had the same birthday as me. So we literally, you know, that for me that synced it. Especially during that Attitude Era. The Attitude Era changed a lot for all of us. I feel like it hooked a lot of us into loving wrestling even more. And there was, for every kid growing up, you attached yourself to somebody, and you could see yourself in somebody, or you could relate to somebody. So especially in that era, it was Austin and it was The Rock. So you were either Team Rock or you were Team Austin. You were either, you know, against the establishment, or, you know, you liked how flashy The Rock was, or the eyebrow, or the clothes, or you were with him, you know, going back to, you know, bright colors, you know, Rocky Maivia, right? Looking like Tatanka, you know. So for me, my favorite match is also a WrestleMania match, and it's the trilogy of Rock Austin. So that would be WrestleMania 19, Safeco Field. That was the first match where they were under the WWE moniker. You know, you had all the greats. You had Earl Hebner, you had, you know, Jim Ross and the King on commentary, making fun of Michael Cole and Taz because they were SmackDown.
Yeah.
You had, you know, the build up of, you know, The Rock is the Hollywood Rock. At that point, he was singing songs on the guitar. You know, he was cooking, and, you know, the trilogy was the year after Rock or Hogan, right? So at that point, you know, The Rock's 0-2, and he needs a win against Austin, and, you know, it was an overall great match. You had multiple finishers. You had The Rock put on Stone Cold's vest. You had each guy do their other person's finisher. You had multiple kickouts
before everyone did that.
When it mattered, though, when it was done right, when it was done right.
And you know, it ended with The Rock finally getting a victory over Austin. And for me, that was a big thing, because Austin was huge. And turns out, and we didn't know that was going to be Austin's last official match as well, until he fought KO. So, like, there were so many great things about that match. So that's easily, if not Hogan Rock, Austin Rock 3 is my favorite match.
Wow. Hard to argue, brother. Laid it out very, very nicely. Trip down memory lane. Something you guys probably should turn on again if you haven't watched it in a while. It's one of the best matches of all time.
Chef, is the trilogy WrestleMania 15, 17, and
19?
15, 17, 19.
Every other year. 99, 01, 03. Every
That's
other
right.
year.
That's
Damn.
right.
Talk about, bro. I got some smart on this part.
I told you, I grabbed this right here.
Crockpot book, and how about 15, 17, and 19?
And they did all kinds of shit in between.
My God.
I love that match, and the reason I love that match is because what happened in 17 happened in 19, and that should have happened in 17. And I wish The Rock would have been more selfish coming up, because he was the most giving superstar. That's one of the main reasons why I picked WrestleMania 18, because Rock finally went over. He finally went over in the biggest match of all time. Because, little known fact, Rock had, if I'm not mistaken, 4 WWE championship matches. And WrestleMania lost all 4. He lost in 99. He lost in 2000. He lost in 2001. And he lost in, 2013? WrestleMania in New York, 29. So It's just unfortunate that had to happen. He lost to Austin twice, so it's cool that he got his comeuppance. And that, as a Rock fan growing up, I already told you that was my guy growing up. Light, bright, stick together. You know, that's what we do. But
don't remind me.
I'm sorry. I'm the conduit. We went there, baby. I'm the conduit, if you will.
I can't stand y'all.
Yeah, shout out Ricky Starks. You know what I mean?
Swear to God, bro.
Great pick, Chef. Great pick.
Yeah,
great pick.
And so many Easter eggs in that match. So many Easter eggs in that match.
Obviously, 17 was, I believe, Houston. 18 was obviously the big one in Canada, but 19 in Seattle is one of the first ones I remember with this modern feel, like a stadium and with an open skyline. That's great.
It's a beautiful venue. Beautiful venue.
It was open too.
Shawn Michaels and Jericho.
Yeah.
Brock Angle.
Oh, listen, we got JMC going next week, so we got the chef.
We had Hogan McMahon.
Yeah, Hogan McMahon was at WrestleMania. Yeah.
Jeez Louise, cheese.
Hardy Boys, I think.
Chef with the pick, DP with the good one. JMC going next week with his. He got a tall task. That's a tall thing to follow. Like,
he continue the trend, brother.
Yo, let me go around the horn. Yo, Big Face, you got anything? You have the floor. You talk about anything you want to talk about. This is the moment of the show where you can talk about wrestling, you can talk about anything but religion and politics.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. When's I need a WWE superstar to have a opening by a K-pop star. That's what I need right now.
What superstar and what K-pop star though? What superstar and who's gonna bring them out? No, who's
Evan, the darkest K-pop star I ever seen in my life. Shout out Evan, man.
Well, you got to give the wrestler, and then you got to say who's gonna bring them out. You can't just say some shit like that.
I know. I know. Well, I mean, Oscar's Japanese, so it's a little different. I mean, I could.
She dance around, you know what I'm saying?
What about?
Yeah.
Damn. What about?
God, I just want somebody to perform like.
Oh,
I want them to blend somehow.
You know damn well.
Actually, you know what? I would not be mad at that.
What do you say?
The Alpha Academy? like a K-pop. Come on, could you imagine Otis dancing and Jack? I'm sorry. I would like, thank you. Like, and they just start like.
Oh, baby. Otis, that guy. I love Otis.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that. I would love it. I'd have to think more on that. But I like that. I like that suggestion.
JMC, final thoughts, man. The floor is yours, brother.
Chris Jericho. I love you. You're an all-time great.
Top 10, baby.
Here's what needs to happen. After that abysmal, I know Kenny had diverticulitis. Get well, Kenny Omega.
Get well.
Chris Jericho, you have a unique opportunity. It is now time for you to be the Paul Heyman of AEW. And that's a tall task in and of itself. You can wrestle 2 or 3 times a year if you must. You can still get that job done. We don't need to see you wrestle every week. You have a great mind for the business. You have a silver tongue. You're one of the best promo cutters of all time.
Better believe it.
You have elevated young guys, but sometimes I think you need to understand where you can be most effective and really help people. Chris Jericho, cut promos every week, build a stable around you where you were the Paul Heyman of AEW. Come out of the weeds once or twice, maybe 3 times a year for a big match or final boss, if you will. And not only that, it'll reinvent you once again, which you're the king of. And you can still do your cruises and do your Fozzy tours. You don't need to be on every week. You're great on commentary. You're great at everything you've ever done. You're an all-time legend. There's nothing left to prove. Transition into that, and I think it'll prolong his career for another 10 years.
Here.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't agree more. I hold Jericho in high regard. I think he's one of the greatest of all time. I think he's better than most of every wrestler who ever do it.
He was in ECW in 1994.
He reinvents himself all the time. Every single thing he chooses to do, he gets over. He got a list over in WWE. A list.
It's still over.
It's still over. You just made the list. You've never saw the list. All you seen was a clipboard and a thing that said the list.
It doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing. You just made the list, and it was Chris Jericho. He's my top 10 favorite wrestler of all time. I think he's top 10 of all time on any list. He's the best. What's the criteria of wrestling? Wrestling, gimmicks, promos. What has he got? He has those in spades.
All of it.
Anybody that knows me knows how I feel about Chris Jericho. I think he's very, 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 very good. I just think he's better than everybody. He's better than so many people. And but I do think it's always time. Listen, the youth is for the youth. You know what I'm saying? It is being young, and it's for you know what I mean? It's like I think there comes a time and a place for a person to move on. Doesn't mean you got to stop doing what you're doing. I mean, move out of the spotlight. And the hardest thing to do is give up the spotlight. It's the hardest thing in the world, because as soon as that spotlight's on you and people are kissing your ass and telling you how amazing you are, and they're doing that for decades, it's hard to step away from that. But I think there's value in stepping away from that. And his brain his wrestling mind is too great to be wasted on. I need to be in the spotlight. He can really be like a great like ambassador to the AEW with you just using his brain. And
closest thing I can think of is Paul Heyman. He still gets to have the limelight when he wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
And people really don't know how intricate vital Paul Heyman has been to Roman Reigns' career. Seriously, if you get anybody huge, guys, watch that clip. If you haven't seen that clip of him backstage,
Paul Heyman, Geppetto.
Listen, man, damn, that's almost disrespectful. Like I Obi-Wan, Miyagi.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, though. But I know what you're saying, Geppetto. He's very Geppetto. Like, if you
pulling all the strings,
you want to see the impact of Paul Heyman. Watch the clip right before before Roman Reigns goes out for that WrestleMania match against Cody. There is a clip of him backstage, and when he's looking at Roman Reigns and he's putting that lay on him. That is one of the realest moments you will ever see in wrestling. And it's like it's unbelievable to see that kind of impact that dude has on Roman Reigns, and Chris Jericho could be just that. But Chef, you have the floor, brother. Anything, any subject you could tackle. You can whatever.
Tomorrow marks the last episode in a great season of one of the best animes I have seen in my life, and that will be Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah.
And the rumor is we might not get a third season until 2026. And I am
Savage.
So I will enjoy the last episode in this wonderful arc and this wonderful manga that I have grown to love. That is all I got.
Shout out to Jujutsu Kaisen. Bring your ass back to 2026. Damn.
It took 10 years for Attack on Titan, so I know what that feels like.
DPJR, last words, anything on your mind, brother.
Yeah, brother, daddy. Yeah, I got something on my mind. I like to issue an apology. As a wrestler, I didn't appreciate. I was amongst the litany of individuals among my age that didn't appreciate one John Cena when he was around, rooted against him at every time. But the more and more I go back and the more I watch him, he is so much better than your favorite wrestler for the most part, except Roman Reigns. But everybody else, in all honesty, he is amazing. What he can do in the ring, the promos he cuts, the wishes he granted, and all the things. It was fun hating on him because, that's what we did as adults. Kids loved him. But just to take a step back and appreciate who he is, what he represented, and he is missed. He is missed in the game. I miss him, and I just personally want to apologize for not appreciating him when he wasn't around.
He'd probably forgive you too.
Apology not accepted by Eddie Mac.
Oh, my bad, E. My bad. I feel like I'm talking to you too.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, brother. No, seriously, I know what you mean. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, or it should. You guys know where I'm at with John Cena, because it's one of those things where I realized that when I started realizing how much better John Cena improved and how much he put people over and how much he, especially comfortable, he's putting a little too many people over nowadays. But we'll talk about that. Yeah, he needs to calm down a little bit. Now it's coming to the fact when he pull up, he ain't winning, and that's weird. But like,
he's won in 5 years.
Gets insane. Like, okay,
what?
John, easy does it.
That's a horrible stat.
Easy does it.
Easy, Poppy.
Easy.
Straight kilo.
But shout out to DP for apologizing to old goat man Cena. Yo, last word for your boy, Cena Iron Claw. Solid film. Great acting by young Zac Efron. I'm always weird about Zac Efron as far as his acting ability. He dug deep for this one, so I got to give him credit. Some of the actors in this have did a phenomenal job telling a very, very hard story about the Von Erichs. It was shot well. It was a love letter to wrestling. It was a love letter to old school wrestling. There's only one faux pas in the movie, and it was the casting of the guy that played Ric Flair. It is an abomination. Mm-hmm. It is a sin against God. It is a tragedy.
He hasn't even showed me yet. So.
It's the first time I wanted to go blind and deaf. Damn. If you guys ever do that again, I will personally find you all and eliminate you with extreme prejudice. So, that's the only. Now how you gonna have a perfect movie and then that, and it pisses me off.
Did you see that clip of Will Ferrell and that blind hair rolling around on social media?
But yo, shout out to Iron Claw. Shout out to the movie.
That's like a trend. A lot of people agree with you
because I would never lie about that. It's terrible.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Not only does Evan evaluate wrestling, but he is an extreme.
I cannot do. We're talking about the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Like, the casting director needs fired.
You have legitimately find are you? That's what pisses me off because the movie's good. That's what pisses me off. The movie's good, and then they do that, and I wouldn't care if they wouldn't let him cut a whole Ric Flair promo, like a real one. They let him cut the whole promo. So it's not like a quick little like woo, and then he wrestles. He cuts a whole promo. Did you see the movie, Chef?
I saw the clip of the promo, bro. It was terrible. It was awful. That impersonation was awful.
Oh man.
Awful. Listen, man. But shout out to Iron Claw because it was shot well. It was visceral. It was real. It was raw. He did something very clever. He wanted the people that watched it. He wanted people to watch it to not think wrestling was scripted. Every shot, every scene was shot like wrestling was a high intensity, high impact as it really is. And that, to me, for a casual person that doesn't know anything about wrestling, he showed the impact of the product. He showed the impact of what it does to you. And it was a great film. Well done by A24. They never miss. So shout out to Iron Claw. Shout out to the Kick Rocks podcast. Chef Justin in the building. Brought my wife on to hang out for a little bit. It's been a while since she's been on the damn show. So I'm back. JMC in the building as per usual. David just left because that's what he does. He's like a light-skinned Phantom of the Opera. Andrew Lloyd Webber
Listen, he got kicked off because he had the nerve to be disrespecting Goatman Cena out here.
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. You can't be just disrespecting old Goatman. But listen, so Lord, we out, man. This is audio, but it's video, but it's audio. So anybody listening, David Perry is I'm telling you, light skinned Phantom of the Opera, what I'm calling him from now on, man. He just vanishes and he comes back and he leaves and he comes back, goes and he comes back. I'll see y'all next week, man.
Bye, y'all.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Oh, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year from the Kick Rocks podcast.
Yo, Lord have mercy. Watch World's End, baby.